Evening. Hey, everybody. Andrea here. I am trying out a new software. So be patient with me. Thank you for tuning in. If I don't know if I'm going to save this. So if you come in shortly, then potentially you'll be tapping into where I am. If not, um, cool. So, first and foremost, I want to say hello. It's been a while. And let me tell you about what I'm doing. Well, I'm wearing my hat. I'm just pushing my way through being a bit sick. And so I am taking quality care of me and tending to all of my needs. And I wanted to actually stop in and try out this software. And so let's see. Hold on a second. Um, if you're joining and in this particular moment, say hello or comment so I can see I'm on a new software and I don't know where it will actually come, if it will show me that anybody is with me. So if you stop in and say hello, just a quick hi, I could see who it is if anything pops up, because I'm not quite sure how to navigate the software, and we learn in real time around here, right? We jump in and we figure it out. And so if you happen to, oh, hi, Baron. Thank you. Oh, I see how this works now. All right. Thanks, Baron, for saying hi. Happy belated birthday. I hope that you are still celebrating yourself. I was excited to send you the picture that I found in my phone to wish you a happy birthday. So thanks for saying hi. And yeah, I wanted to stop in and do a little bit of sharing, just try out this new software. So I treated myself for Black Friday to Restream. I don't know if any of you have heard of it. I'm late to lots of parties, so I might be late to this party too. But Restream is a software that allows you to go live in multiple places at the same time. And so I wanted to treat myself and indulge, because what I found is that oftentimes I will go live in the Instagram space, but want to share the content in Facebook as well. And I was thinking about how can I work smarter, right, and not get off one live and go on to the next. And so Restream was put on my radar by Mike, DJ Mike Crespo. So shout out to Mike. And I wanted to try it out for 2023 to be able to share out what I believe to be important messages, valuable messages in different spaces at the same time. And so tonight was very much about jumping in and trying the thing out. I figured instead of waiting until an ideal moment to set it up and do all the stuff, I would sit right here with my hat, looking all crazy, and come in and do some talking. And so the 2023 blueprint, that is what I put up as the title of this particular live. And I want to share a little bit about, what that is and why I'm excited for it, why I'm excited for you for it. And start to just lay the context for what I think is going to be an incredible segment. So I'm grateful that I got the vision for the 2023 Blueprint event, which is happening on the last Wednesday of December. And so before I talk about the event, let me share a little bit about me, and why this time of year is important. And um, I am someone who absolutely looks to the new year as a new chapter, if you will. So I am someone who does believe in New Year resolutions. I am someone who is quite nostalgic and reflective, and my birthday is at the end of November. And I would say, at the beginning of November, I start to really think about, with great intention and purpose, life, right? My own life, where I am, what has happened that year, um, how I'm feeling, what I accomplished, what I created, what I, you know, experience throughout the course of the year. And then I really do start to think about as early as beginning of November, um, wow, another year. And so this might be something that's part of my personality by way of family, and tradition, if you will. We definitely, my family gets together for New Year's Eve. And, when I was younger and I would see the adults in the family emotional on New Year's Eve, I didn't quite understand, like, I didn't get it. But now I fully embody the emotion. And it's not that it's sadness, right? But it's a deep connection to life and the temporariness of it all, and the beauty of it, right? And the um, sometimes pain, all of it. And so I am someone who, at the end of the year, does a great deal of reflection and introspective journeying, I'm going to call it. And I start to really think about, where I've been, where I am, and where I'm looking to go next. Right. And so that is part of my annual tradition at the end of the year. And so this particular year, I was really thinking about all that I've accomplished. And if you're coming in and, stop in, say hi in the chat so I can see you. I've been thinking about all that I've accomplished. These last couple of years have been quite eventful, right? And there's been a lot that has happened. And so, on a personal note, I have made tremendous changes by letting go of my career, by leaping, into the unknown and pursuing my passion, the business and all of it, everything, the podcast, new territory, going back to graduate school, fulfilling requirements for licensing, um, you know, certification for coaching. There's been a lot of big milestone events that I've been up to. And I was thinking about it starting in November, what I've done, because I don't know if anybody else identifies with this, and tell me in the chat if you do. But sometimes I have this way of sitting and thinking, I feel like I'm not doing much. Who can identify with that? I feel like I'm not doing much, right? And as someone who is a goal getter, someone who is consistently, going after accomplishments that I seek to desire, experiences that I want to have, all of the things. It's interesting that I often find myself feeling as though, oh wow, nothing real, like not much has happened. But it's that interesting, and it's one of my favorite quotes. Isn't it funny how day to day nothing changes, but when you look back, everything is different? And so it was mid-November 2022, and this was what, 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, if you will. And I was getting ready to celebrate my 44th birthday. And I was thinking to myself, like having a moment of like, what, like I was sort of thinking about like what I actually do. And I remembered that on my 43rd birthday, I recorded a podcast episode, the V Spot. If you're not familiar, check me out on the V Spot. It's a podcast that I created to celebrate the power of vulnerability. And so it's a lot of conversations, solo episodes where I share about all different things pertaining to healing, going after goals, personal development work. And I also invite people to share the space with me. And so I remember that on my 43rd birthday, I did an episode for the V Spot, and I entitled it Chapter 43. And I talked about what I wanted to experience in the year through, until my next birthday. And thankfully, right, full gratitude that 44 was coming around the bend. And I remembered the podcast episode, and I said, let me listen back to that podcast episode, because I talked about what I wanted to experience, what I wanted to create. And so I listened back, and there was a lot of things that I said I wanted to experience and do and create from 43 to 44 in that trip around the sun. And I was so pleasantly surprised to identify and really connect with the fact that I did all of the things that I said I wanted to do in that episode. And so as I was listening back and I was thinking of, and hearing myself say, this is the year that I want to X, Y, and Z, I was really kind of identifying like, you did that, you did that, you did that, right? And there was a lot of things that I spotlighted. So that wasn't accidental, right? That was attributed to the power of intention. There was certain things that I wanted to experience and create and pursue and do and feel, right? There was like a whole bunch of things. And it happened. And that's not a mistake and it's not by chance, right? Now, day to day, you start to get busy and you start to move away from like I moved away from all of the things that I said in that podcast episode, and I got busy and whatever you do, you're living life. But what I realized when I listened back is just how powerful intention is, because though I got busy, though I moved away from that podcast episode, though I wasn't every day checking into, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, it surely got done, right? And that was because there was a purposeful plan. And then I set out in action to turn it out, right? And so I tell you all of that to say it's the end of 2022 and all of the talk is starting for 2023, right? I'm sure by now you've gotten a million emails, a million Facebook posts or Instagram or YouTube videos or LinkedIn or wherever you hang out, TikTok, indicating new year, new you, right? If you're with me in this moment, react in some capacity, press a button so that I can, I want to interact with you, or drop in the comments. Have you seen some sort of post indicating new year, new you, and all of that stuff? Because I certainly have received tons of messages. And so with that being said, given my nature, which I shared with you, is a very reflective and introspective way, if you will, at this time of year, I naturally start to think about where I am, where I've been, and where I'm looking to go. And so I do believe in New Year resolutions, right? And I often struggled to accomplish New Year resolutions that I set out to accomplish. Now, I don't know if that remains true for you. And if you're with me in this moment, please drop in the chat if you have ever set a New Year resolution and struggled to accomplish it. Because what I have found is that it's not that I didn't want the thing that I said I was declaring on as a New Year resolution, right? It's that I was saying I wanted something, but not necessarily shining the light on or being aware of or implementing a plan to set me up to win, right? I was stating that I wanted something and I did, but I wasn't actually being with or aware of, well, what are some of the things that often get in the way of getting to? And so my journey over the last 5 or 6 years, I would say I'm going to name it 6 in this moment, has been very much about, so intentional healing and wellness is just a little bit more than 2 years old, but I was doing coaching work for a few years before that. And so 6 years of being on a journey where I'm very purposeful about learning what is in the way, right? Because we say we want things and then we struggle to get there. And why is that? And that used to get me so like riled up, because I would not understand myself in terms of, if I want this thing so badly, why am I having a hard time staying the course of action to get to it? And so as I started to learn more and more about myself and commit more and more to my own personal development journey, I started to learn the reasons why. And oftentimes there are roadblocks and there are things in the way that we don't even know are there, right? And so the more I started to dive deeper into my journey and my process and become aware of my roadblocks, the more I was able to support people in identifying theirs and working through. It's not that set a goal or a resolution or whatever you want to name it, and then you a week later don't care about that and then you just quit. right? It's that there are several variables, often not necessarily very outwardly obvious, that are present. And so you can want a thing in a certain moment, but are you willing to put in the work that's needed to actually accomplish it, right? Because sometimes that means giving some other things up, right? You may not be able to accomplish a goal if you keep everything else in your life the same way. There may not be the time to do the work that's needed to get you to that goal. So there are things that warrant conversation and looking. And so what I learned, that there was times where I had to give certain things up. That's how I stopped watching TV, right? Because I realized at a particular point in time when I was going after certain things that I was spending hours marathoning my favorite shows, but then in a conversation of I didn't have the time to do what I needed to do to move the needle on what I was trying to accomplish. And so there was an opportunity for me to look at, well, what is it that's actually taking up my time? And when I took an inventory, I learned that for me at that time, I was spending a lot of time in front of the TV. And so that wasn't going to work. In order to get to where I was looking to go, I needed to free up some time. So it started out as a temporary give up where I was like, all right, I'm going to actually pause on the TV watching so that those 3 hours, let's say in the evening when I would normally be sitting and watching all the good shows, I was now going to be able to work on whatever the thing was. And as I started to make headway in what I was looking to accomplish for myself, it's now almost 6 years that I don't on a regular day to day watch TV, right? Because I use the time differently. Now, that's just one example, and I'm not suggesting you give up TV. What I'm hoping that you walk away with from this conversation is the fact that if you have ever set a goal for yourself or a New Year resolution or whatever you want to name it, you've declared something, and then you struggled to get there, you're not a failure, right? It's not that you didn't want that thing. It's that there's a lot of other things that are going on that require becoming aware of. And I just use the example of distractions being one of them. Sometimes the other things are taking up our time. And so we need to become aware of, where is this time being spent? And if I want to accomplish something that requires consistent work and effort, what am I willing to let go of to have that turn out? Right. And so the more and more I journey into my own process, the more I learn about some, unexpected roadblocks. And I have identified in the course of my own path 4 very common roadblocks that a lot of people, myself included, experience difficulty in getting to where we're looking to go. And so what I decided to do, there's 4 common roadblocks that I have come across. What I have decided to do for the ending of this year was host an event called the 2023 Blueprint that will be hosted virtually on Zoom, so that wherever you are, you can tune in. The event is $23, and it's going to be from 7 p.m. Eastern to 9 p.m. Eastern. So, with that being said, it's an opportunity to pause from all of the busyness in your life, take some time for you, and create what will be the 2023 blueprint so that you can experience a year like no other. And it's going to we're going to be utilizing the power of intention, right? We're going to be tapping into the power of clarity, right? Because it's often said that people do not get what they want because they don't take the time to identify what they actually want. And so I always say vague goals yield vague results. And so the 2023 blueprint is an opportunity. There'll be some work for you to do before you actually come to the Zoom call, and then there'll be an opportunity to hone in and get clear during the event. It's an opportunity to get really clear on what it is that you want. And I'm emphasizing you because it's different for all of us. What you desire is different than what I desire. Now, there may be some overlap in some areas, right? We may desire to earn additional income, right? Have a greater number in the bank account, if you will. But it is going to look different. And so this is a very personalized, and that's why I called it the 2023 blueprint, because it's your blueprint, right? And it's going to be unique to you, and it's going to be important that you not think about what other people at the event are looking to accomplish for themselves. Um, this is about you being in your lane, taking that couple of hours, investing the small amount of money, 23 for 23, that's why I did it, to tap into what is it, right? What is it? Because here's the thing, if you don't take the time to identify what you desire, and again, for some people, it may be something tangible. It may be earning more money. It may be getting into a relationship. It may be releasing weight. But for others, it may be experiencing peace of mind, right? It may be developing a gratitude practice that has you present to your life in a new way. It may be having the courageous conversation that you've been avoiding, right? It might mean trying out a new hobby because you are someone who works a lot and doesn't give yourself time to play. I don't know what it's going to be for you, right? But it looks very different from person to person. For others, it may be ending the relationship that doesn't work. It may be allowing yourself the opportunity to start fresh. It might be addressing the fears that you've been unwilling to be with, right? It's very unique. The journey is very personalized. And so, what do you want to experience in 2023? What do you want your life to consist of? How do you want to feel? How do you want to be spending your time? Right? Who do you want to be spending your time with? What accomplishments are you wanting to call forward? This is an opportunity to develop the customized blueprint for you so that the decision as to what it is that you want is made, and the declaration and the like putting it out into the universe is possible, right? That's like the manifestation element of it. But you can't, a manifestation sometimes is a funny conversation because you can't, or we can't, one can't, um, put out there what it is that you want and then sit like this and wait, right? That's not what manifestation is. It's about putting it into the universe and declaring what it is that you want, naming it, really like letting it be known. I desire X, I desire Y. And then it requires inspired action to have it take place, right? Because sitting like this here in the kitchen after I put out into the universe and the, or name that I desire to be in a committed relationship, um, I'm pointing over there because nobody's going to come knock on my door, right? And so, what inspired action is necessary to then start to take action towards, right? So, the 2023 blueprint is about, there's four components to it. It's about deciding what it is. So, it's about clarity because you cannot have what you're unwilling to name. And I used this example when I was on Instagram the other night, hence why I wanted to get um, restream, because this would have been shared in all the spaces already. Imagine you're in a restaurant. I want to give you a scenario and then we'll start to land the plane. Imagine you're in a restaurant and the waiter comes over to ask you what it is that you want after you've been looking at the menu. And you're looking at the menu and you're like, oh, I don't know. There's so many good choices, like the steak sounds really good. The salmon sounds delicious, but I don't know. Am I in the mood for chicken? And you're not sure. And so the waiter says, "Okay, I'll be back. Take a few more minutes to decide." And you were reading the menu and all of the things, and it sounds so good, and you're hungry, and you're like, "Oh man!" And so the waiter comes back, and and he's like, "Any decisions?" And you're like, "No, I'm torn. It's definitely going to be the salmon, or it's going to be the steak, but I'm not sure which way I want to go. They both sound so good. Do you have any recommendations?" They give you their opinion, and you're like, all right, give me a couple of more minutes. And they walk away, and an hour passes. When the waiter comes back over to you, is he going to be bringing you a plate at that point? He or she? Is he going to be bringing you a plate at that point? No, because an order has not been made. An order has not been placed. And that's the same thing with your goals, right? If you are toying around with or feeling like, oh, it would be really nice to get a new job where I'm making, I don't know, $20,000 more. It would be nice to actually be in that industry, or maybe I should step into that industry, but you don't actually land it. It's the similar concept, like what's going to be served. And so there's power and importance in making a decision. Now, for those of you who get like about a commitment, this is not about making an end all be all decision that cannot be changed, right? Because along the course of a journey, you may reroute, you may change your mind, a different opportunity may come up in some capacity, but there's at least a willingness to decide, make a decision, allow for it to be delivered. And when we stay, and trust me, I am speaking from experience, stay in a space of unwillingness to decide and uncertainty and indecision, we're blocking out our own opportunities and blessings in whatever conversation we're talking about right now. So whether we're in a conversation of finances or career or art or wellness or whatever the thing is, when we stay in the conversation of, I don't know, maybe we're not landing it. And so the 2023 blueprint, a portion of it is going to be, dedicated to the power of decision and clarity to land it, right? To get clear. What is it that you desire to experience? Because some of you right now, when I'm saying that, you're crystal clear. You know the thing you want. And for some, and it's not uncommon, it's like, I don't even know. Because sometimes we spend so much time very clear on what we don't want that we don't take the time to hone in on what it is that we do want, right? And so there will be a portion of the event that will be dedicated to clarity, decision. Name a couple of things and get clear on a couple of things. This isn't about, every single part of your life. It'll be what you get from this event. You'll be able to sign off at the end and apply it to all the different areas, right? But there'll be an opportunity to at least get clear on 2 or 3 things that for you want to experience in the new year. And then the next part of it is going to be dedicated to putting it out there, declaring it, allowing the universe to receive your order, right? Knowing that it cannot serve you what you're unwilling to name. And so there will be a portion of the set of the night that we have the opportunity to, make it clear. This is where we are. This is what's up. This is what I want to call forth for 2023. And then we'll talk about what's needed in terms of inspired action, right? What are some things that get to happen in order to make this a reality, right? Because I think the date is January 19th. It is like been estimated that approximately 70% of people quit their resolutions by January 19th. So that's about 2.5 weeks of effort put forth, and then approximately 70% of people fall off. So I want to invite you to be one of the 30% this year. And the reason that you can do that now is because you can set yourself up to win by preparing for the unforeseen variables that take the 70% out of the running approximately 19 days into the new year. And so the last part of the segment that I'm going to deliver in the blueprint is designed to shine the light on 4 of the most common reasons why we struggle to accomplish our goals. And so by being proactive and having the conversation and shining the light on these 4 things prior to actually being in the territory of, navigating the goals and everything, you will be setting yourself up to win, right? Because we will be shining the light on, and I'm just looking here for a minute because I want to just see if this thing is coming up on the screen, the experimental live. Thanks for your patience and thanks for oh yeah, it's on. All right, cool. Um Excellent, excellent. So let me just circle back because I distracted myself by doing that. We want to make sure, I want to make sure, as I was reflecting on the end of 2022 and thinking about 2023, I wanted to be intentional about creating an event that will support you in having an extraordinary, unforgettable 2023, right? I was thinking for myself about, because all of the work that I do with intentional healing and wellness, I absolutely live and do for me, right? And so oftentimes what I'm offering out as an event or a post or a vision, um, is is like a journey that I recently went on or am navigating, and I'm sharing out lessons learned and realizations and insight and what I have found to support me in overcoming and creating and accomplishing, right? And one of the things I was thinking about this particular November was, wow, you have created all of the things you said you were going to create in this particular year. And was it always easy? No. As a matter of fact, I started the conversation by saying to you, I was saying to myself, it doesn't feel like I did so much, right? But that's because I was in the thick of doing all of the different things. But when I think back to how it is that I was able to accomplish what I've accomplished, um, I want to be able to share out all of the different tools and the different insights and what I have implemented in my own journey so that I can support you in implementing it in yours so that you too can check in and say, wow, everything that I desired to experience this year, I did. And everything that has been on my heart, meaning yours, everything that's been on your heart to bring forward as a vision, to step into as a dream, happens. And I feel there's a sense of responsibility and a strong desire in creating spaces and platforms and conversations and coaching containers and all of the things that allow me to turnkey, um, 20 plus years of experience with consulting, with mental health, therapeutic intervention, more recent counseling, coaching, to be able to support you in going from A to Z, right? And so, I'm proud of the work that I do. I'm excited and grateful for the visions that come. I was super pumped and very, very crystal clear on the 2023 blueprint and the importance of it and why I think it's going to just be incredibly powerful. And you will literally walk away from the event with the necessary, think about what a blueprint is, right? It's literally a design plan, and you will walk away from the event with your own design plan for your life for 2023. And so the clarity will be there, the vision will be there, and then it's going to require you to take the inspired action, and sometimes on the days you don't want to ensure that it comes to. And so I'm excited. I've been reflecting about my own blueprint and what I want 2023 to consist of and feel like, and all that I want to create. And I've been getting so excited and psyched. And I wanted to bring everyone together who's on a similar, with a similar mission and wanting to experience their lives with intention and have great vision for different things that they want to have happen. And this will be the platform. So I think some people do vision board parties, some people do goal, setting events, and really visualization and manifestation type um, special events to honor and celebrate the ending of, right, chapter 2022 in this case, and the beginning of what will be 2023. And I'm excited to be offering a segment, that is doing it. It's sort of pulling together all of the elements into one space. And so I want to do it in the Zoom room because I want to be able to open it up for people that are part of the intentional healing community who are out of city, out of state, out of country, and allow for an opportunity for us to all get together, because it's not only powerful to be intentional about individual goals and desires and all of the things. It's exceptionally powerful to create and share in community as well. And so there's a energy and there's a force that is developed by way of such work happening as a collective. And that's what this event is about. So if you are someone who is also thinking about chapter 2022 coming to a close, you're also thinking about what you desire to experience in chapter 2023. Maybe you are reflective and nostalgic by nature as well. Maybe you're not, and you're just very logical and analytical and plan oriented, and you're thinking about, okay, how am I going to map out a new year? Wherever you fall along the spectrum, there's power, and the event is for you. And I would say that spotlighting four of the most common reasons why we struggle to get to our goals in itself is exceptionally powerful. And I want to support and hold space so that you have an unforgettable year, because I am in a commitment to have an unforgettable year. And so everything that I have been looking at, and the work that I've been doing to set myself up in that way, I'm going to be sharing. And so the music will be good, because there's always good music at my virtual events and even in-person events. And the company will be great. You'll be in good hands. And I invite you to get your ticket and join in. So tickets are on Eventbrite. If you go to Eventbrite and type in the 2023 blueprint, you will see the tickets. They are $23. 23 for 23. I don't even think you could get dinner for that amount of money these days. So it's 2 hours of, content and workshopping, and there'll be coaching and quality, conversation and company kept. And so I really encourage you to get your ticket. It's going to be on a Wednesday, December 28th from 7 to 9 p.m. And one of the things that I decided to do, and then I'm going to say goodnight and thank you for being on here with me. One of the things that I decided to do was offer out so for Black Friday and the holiday season that just passed, two of the offerings that I put out were one was a 90-minute coaching intensive. Usually to work in a one-to-one container with me, it's a 3-month minimum. But for the Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Frenzy, and all that, what I decided to do was offer out a 90-minute coaching intensive and a 1-month coaching option. And so I wanted to create two new ways to experience, the work and experience coaching if you're new to it, or if you're not new to coaching, but you're new to me, experience me and my style so that we can get a sense of, is the longer term thing something you want, or is that sufficient enough? And so what I decided to do here, and as a give back, because I felt like this was, I don't know, landed on my heart and I wanted to do it. The first 11 people to purchase their ticket for the 2023 blueprints will be entered into a raffle to win a 90-minute coaching intensive. So the first 11 people to purchase tickets for the 2023 blueprints, your name will be entered into one of these computerized things that I'll do on a live. And you will potentially win a 90-minute coaching intensive. And the coaching intensive will be to explore whatever it is that you want to, work on. So you will be able to decide this is what I, want to potentially explore or whatever. But I wanted to do that as a really as a celebration of urgency. And so I chose 11 because that's a special number to me. And so the first 11 people will be entered into a raffle, which I will notify you to let you know, hey, you're one of the 11, and I'm going to be doing this raffle, so that you can tune in live and see the thing turn out. But I thought that that was a powerful way to really call you forward, that if you know you want to attend the event, don't wait to get your ticket. You might as well be able to um, be entered into a raffle, to win a 90-minute coaching intensive. And it's another way to set yourself up to win, right? Because it will be a 90-minute experience that we schedule to do in the new year, right right at the start of. So in January, we can schedule that, whoever wins. And if you're interested in the coaching intensive in general, hit me in the DM to ask me, questions. But I wanted to do that as a give back, and I wanted to do it as a call to action to celebrate urgency. If you know you're going to be at the event, get your ticket so that you could be part of and have that as an opportunity. And it's another way to set yourself up to win. It's another way to experience coaching. It's another way to experience, work you and I together. And so, shout out to the 7 people who already got their tickets, because there's 4 spots left for that raffle. So when you catch the playback, or if you're watching this now, or whatever the story is, head to Eventbrite and get the ticket so that you can be one of the 4. And let's work together to ensure that you create an unforgettable 2023. We're here for great reason at this time. There's no mistakes. And so, what is it that you want to experience? Right. And I've said this before on Instagram mainly. Um, your life is not a never ending story, it doesn't go on and on forever. And so, what is it that you want to experience? Where do you want to go? Who do you want to share your life with? How do you want to feel? What is it that you're looking to actually have happen? What do you want to create? Is there anything that you're up to that you feel, I always wanted to do A, B, and C. I always wanted to X, Y, and Z. Those are the things, right? Like, life is now. And so let's come together to, tap into the power of intention and write the story that you're looking to experience, because the next chapter has not been written yet. And intention is the action of picking up the pen and writing what you desire to experience. Anything else would be like surrendering to it being out of your control, and you can't, design your life in a certain way. And that's not the case. There are absolutely some things that are out of our control, but that is not the case for us waking up and living our life on purpose. And so, start with attending the 2023 Blueprint. Join me. We'll absolutely have a good time together in a Zoom room. I'm looking forward. I haven't hosted a virtual event since February, which is wild. So I'm so excited because the last few events have been in person. And I'm really, really excited and looking forward to having the virtual events happen again. And there'll be a whole bunch of special things that get shared out and announced. But more importantly, nothing changes if nothing changes. And so join me on Wednesday, December 28th. It's 2 hours. Be intentional about clearing your schedule, handle your stuff, and give this 2 hours to you, right? In the name of having the 2023 that you desire, knowing that you will be provided with the elements and the ingredients, if you will, to set yourself up to win and to have an unforgettable 2023. And the work will continue offline, right? It's not going to just be everything happens that night, because then will come January 1st and January 19th and all these things. And this is why this work is not a one and done, right? It's that inspired and committed action to keep going and keep going. And when you need to, you rest. And when you need to, you take a second. and you potentially give yourself a break, and then, right? And it's whatever it is, because it's worth it. You're worth it. And your experience of your life, and how I've been honing in on how temporary and special the journey is. Why not have it be experienced with intention, and be able to the most that you possibly can, have what you want, have what you desire. I'm here for it. I'm excited. I want to say thank you. I'm excited for what Restream is going to allow me to do. I logged in just to really quickly to see if this was showing up on the YouTube channel, and it did work. I'm not sure if I'm going to probably just save it, because even though I'm here with Hat, and I've been sick and sort of loving up on myself, and giving myself space to heal and be. Um, I'm feeling better this evening, and I wanted to give this software a go. So I'm excited to actually be able to have the messages be shared in different spaces at different times. I'm exceptionally, I really believe in all of the work that I am doing, and my commitment is to, bring it to you so that you can have the things that you desire, and heal bravely, and design the life that you dream of living, and all of it. And so I always say that, it's better when we are together. So I want to say thank you. Thanks for tuning in. I don't know who is here, because that part, I've been able to see the number changing at the top of the screen here. But shout out to Baron for letting me know that he was in the room. And it's my hope that more and more, when we spend time together in this way, you know, I'll hear from you, and, you could tell me where you're at, what you're up to. And this software allows for me to even invite people in. So we're going to do a lot of different things in 2023. And it's my commitment to get creative, to continue to lean into vulnerability, to show up and create spaces that will allow for all of us to um, lean into our healing work, develop as individuals, and continue to challenge ourselves, right? So that we experience our lives better, and we leave the world better than we found it. And so that's my commitment. The work is surely starting at home here in my life, and it goes out and out and out. So thank you for being part of the intentional healing community, whether you are part of the community on Instagram, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, um, TikTok, wherever you are tuning into my work and me. I want to say thank you. And I'm looking forward to going on the journey. So 2023 Blueprint, get your tickets, spend a couple of hours, you know, dedicated to where you're going next. Let's be purposeful about looking at that, and tell a friend to tell a friend, to come through and join in the festivities. And we will surely go on a powerful journey that night and thereafter. And so I'm looking forward to all the things. Um, I want to say thank you for being with me in this moment, and I will absolutely see you all soon. And you know how I always like to end out. To be continued, everybody. I'll catch you later.